As some of you know who follow me on Instagram, I've been doing this challenge called 75 Hard by Andy Frisella. Today is day 75, and I can say I have lost 30 pounds and I am down 7% in body fat. So I went from 15% body fat to 7.5%. And this is my old self. Like, the person I was in this physically is dead. That's why I made that video. The person I was in this photo mentally is dead. And so you can see a massive difference in comparison. I'm gonna stand right next to it, and you can see a fucking massive difference. I'm not a fucking flexer, but I just know for a fact how much work I put into this, and also just how much it was worth it, because I was just talking to my friend David, I have never in my life ever been in this good of shape. So when I started 75 Hard, I decided I'm gonna make it a community thing. So I put on my story that I was doing it, and I made a Discord, and the Discord had 1,200 people in it signed up for 75 Hard. All of those 1,200 people, about 26 ended up completing. And that's just based off voting and emojis. It could be lower. Let's go over there and get a good angle real quick. This is where we're at physically right now. We were gonna do the pool, but the pool is so fucking busy. So for those of you who don't know what 75 Hard is, every day you gotta do one 45-minute outdoor workout, one 45-minute indoor workout, 10 pages of reading a day, follow a strict diet plan that you cannot even veer off of. So absolutely no cheat meals and no alcohol. And even in the first 35 days, I did no caffeine. So I'm gonna do an entire podcast on my entire experience with the 75 Hard challenge. You can go check that out at the Simplified podcast. But I just wanna say, like, I wanna thank everybody in the Discord group, because those first 2 to 3 weeks are intensely hard, like for real, especially coming from Miami looking like this. And just, this is a guy right here that anytime he felt uncomfortable would run to dopamine. This is a guy right here that would go to the gym and do a 15-20 minute workout and call it going to the gym every day. The guy I am right now, all his dopamine comes from working out. And so therefore I've literally tricked my brain through a light dopamine detox to get all of my dopamine from accomplishing something I don't want to do every single day. You think I want to work out every single day? Yesterday I went to the gym 3 times and hit the outdoor workout. And since a lot of you were asking online, what my diet ended up being was less than 70 grams of fat per day, less than 100 grams of carbs per day, and at least 180 grams of protein per day, all at a 700 calorie deficit. Now, the last 2.5 weeks, I decided I'm gonna take that to another level, and I did the carnivore diet, where it is basically only meat and eggs. And that's when things really started shedding. I lost these last 10 pounds where I'm now at 163 because of the carnivore diet. So something interesting I found about this challenge was anytime I had anxiety before, I would just run to dopamine. Since I cut all of those sources out, all the synthetic dopamine, whether that's alcohol, weed, caffeine, nicotine, video games, fucking, I did no fat, you know, and I'm gonna do that for the rest of my life. When you cut those dopamine sources out, there's only one place to run to, and that's wherever the dopamine source is. And my dopamine source was working out. So I just started working out like a madman, because eventually after that first 3 weeks that most people fail in, that's when things start to switch, and the brain's basically like, we're not getting these massive spikes of dopamine from all these other sources we're used to, like I was used to in Miami. I guess we should go with this. And so the brain just naturally, you start to want to work out, you know? So you have to get past those first 3 weeks. Take it from me, it's completely worth it. So I just wanna say thank you for everyone who was believing in me, and also fuck you to everyone who wasn't believing in me. I'm in better shape than you now, bitch. And I wanna say thank you to Andy Frisella for making this challenge, because the ripple effect of me doing it and making that Discord has been amazing. I've been getting messages from people saying, thank you, I've been drinking alcohol every day for the past 2 years and I haven't in 2 weeks. Or I haven't smoked weed in a month and a half, and I've been smoking weed every day for the past 15 years. So the ripple effect is amazing, and what it ultimately comes down to is you make the world better by making yourself better. And that's the biggest thing I've learned through this entire challenge. The more I bettered myself, the more I bettered the world. Just remember that. I challenge everyone to do the 75 Hard. You can see I lost 30 fucking pounds. I went from this to this with just a little consistency and determination. Please message Andy Frisella on Instagram saying to unblock Scott Hilse and come on the Simplified podcast. I'm 20 minutes away. And Andy, if you're watching this, if you don't remember, it was just a misunderstanding about my car parked next to your car and whose car is better. So I'd love to have you on the podcast, talk about 75 Hard, talk about why it is that 95% of people fail at this, and also why it is so transformative for the mind and the body, and honestly the soul. So because it's 75 Hard, I feel better than I ever have before. Basically, it's allowed me to see everything from a sober, neutral standpoint, where I can completely analyze my life, and I know that the thoughts that I am having in the analyzation of it are not being affected by dopamine, are not being affected by any outside sources. My thoughts are my thoughts, and that's allowed me to find so much more about who I am and what I want to be. So thank you guys so much for watching. I am back.